Okay. Let's see, Mr. Waziri is here with Miss Tell.
Trippy.
Oh, Miss Trippy. And then Lena Baldwin didn't show up?
She's constantly logging into Buchanan.
Oh, got it. Well, what's her plan? Is she gonna log in?
Kelly
here?
just said Buchanan admitted her and is going to try to carefully instruct her not to log in.
Oh, sounds good. The record in the matter of OPV Partners versus Rose Lazaire. File number is 23-00933 LTE. Appearance, please.
May it please the court, Mark Wasbury on
What?
behalf of plaintiff.
You're fine. Give me just a moment. We're having a technical issue.
Telling me I don't have enough space on the desk to record anything.
Of course. That's why would we have unlimited space? What? We need space for.
I have no idea how to fix that.
I don't either.
You know, Wendy.
I Okay, now, back on the record in the matter of OPB Partners versus Rose Lazier, council appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Mark Wasbury on behalf of plaintiff.
Good morning, Your Honor. Angela Trippi, P80120, representing Ms. Rose Lazier, who's also present via Zoom.
Okay, thank you. Today was the date and the time that was set for a motion for escrow order, I believe. My understanding is that the parties did meet privately and come to some resolution.
Yes, there's, I think, 1 month of rent in the court's escrow, and we've agreed that it will be released to the plaintiff.
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct. I've had a chance to explain the court escrow amount that was ordered due to the jury trial demand and being adjourned more than 7 days. We understand and we will so stipulate as it relates only to the court held funds for escrow, not any personal funds, that should be turned over at this time. Thank you. And for the record, is that your understanding, Ms. Lazier?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. I'll note that here in the file. However, Mr. Wassery, did you provide an order with your motion? I don't know that you did.
No, this was an oral motion, and I just drafted the order right now. I will get it over to Ms. Trippi for review and signature.
Okay, sounds good. Let's see. Got it. I see my note about the escrow. Okay, and you'll provide an order and you can submit that to the email for the courtroom, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional matters for the record?
No.
Nothing further,
Okay.
Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. You're both all set.
Thank you.
The record in the matter of Ann Kessler versus Kalina Baldwin, file number 23-02023. Ma'am, what's your name?
Ann Kessler.
Okay, Ms. Kessler, today was the date set for a hearing on a motion to stop eviction that was filed by Kalina Baldwin. The matter was scheduled for 10:30. It's currently 11:08. My understanding is that someone who identified themselves as Kalina Baldwin did log into another judge's virtual courtroom and was instructed multiple times how to properly log into this courtroom. We've waited, I think, a sufficient amount of time for her to do that. There is a motion that she filed to stop the eviction. This was a matter that was set for hearing. There was personal service, and she failed to appear on August 30th. She filed this motion. It says that she really thought that her court date was on the 31st, which was the date she filed the motion. Meaning she was just 1 day off. She has been in and out of the hospital since June, July, and August, and that she has stage 4 cancer in her lungs and some other medical issues going on. And that she had some paperwork that proves that she was in the hospital. She believes she doesn't owe rent for June and July because she paid $1,800 and that the property did not pass inspection. So HUD did not pay. Is she on Section 8, ma'am?
This is a very complicated situation. She hasn't paid me anything since November of 22. She is on Section 8. They were paying partial payments.
How much were they making payments?
It was like $827, and then she was responsible for $125 or $150, something like that.
So since November, they've been paying their $827?
Well, they were,
When
and
did
that
they
was,
stop?
I had initially filed this case back in March, and I had to withdraw from that case because I had been accepting Section 8 money. So I figured collecting something to pay towards the bills was better than nothing, but they said no. So so they had wanted me and the city of Lansing to do some repairs to this house. Her and her family have destroyed this house.
When did Section 8 stop making payments?
I have not received a payment in July or August or September.
Okay, July, August, or September, you did not receive payment. So essentially,
From anyone.
pre-trial, I'm sorry?
From either of them, yeah.
Okay, I'm just trying to, her claim is that they weren't making payments and they were responsible, but her balance was over $5,000 is what I understand it is. Let's see.
We
Right
have,
to
yeah,
retain
we have
possession.
trash, we have, oh, it's just a nightmare. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages of things that the city needs to have fixed there. 2 years ago, it passed inspection.
What kinds of things are these that need to be addressed?
I'll be honest with you, this house needs more than what I can do to it. It needs somewhere between $40,000 to $50,000.
Okay, can I see this paperwork?
It's far more than what they're even saying. She doesn't control the trash there. I just got another bill for $1,300 for trash.
$1,300 for trash?
Yeah.
Is she just leaving the trash on the property? Is
Well,
that
the basement was so full of trash that the inspector couldn't even get there, couldn't even get down there. So she had somebody, she says, come from Florida, empty all the basement into the yard. I was in the process of having a guy pick it up. He was taking it from the back of his truck and a trailer back and forth to get it out of there. And he got it almost all done towards the end. In the city, he went to go, because he was going back and forth that day. And the city came right towards the end and picked up what was left. Because he was like, I don't know what just happened, but he's like, I was in the roots. I came back and it was all cleaned up. I said, the city came. And then I got a bill for $1,300 on top of the other $4,000 or so that I've already paid.
Okay, I'm looking over this list, ma'am. There's a lot of things here that don't, it would indicate that they're deteriorated. Not necessarily damaged. There are some notes that some things are damaged.
There's a lot of damage there.
But
Yeah.
it does appear that there were some things that were deteriorated due to age, furnace due to age.
All of this stuff needs to be replaced, and I can't do it with people living there. I'm actually, I can't put that kind of money into this house. I have to sell it.
Okay, well,
And
you
I'm gonna
filed,
take a huge
what you
hit.
filed was a non-payment of rent. And so her
Right.
argument was that the rent wasn't paid due to HUD not paying.
It's not.
Let's
because of
see.
that, yeah.
She said, I also have paperwork showing I don't owe rent for June and July. Okay, well, we recognize that part. Because you said that they didn't pay you for June and July.
Or
No,
August.
July and August is what you said.
And September now.
Correct, but we had already issued
Right.
default by then.
But it's still there.
Okay, and so up until that point, even if I took her word for it, let's see, you filed this eviction in June. And at the time, she owed $1,804, and that wasn't part of, or that wasn't a portion that was supposed to be paid by HUD.
I'm sorry, what are you talking about?
When you filed your eviction, at the time that you filed it, you said that
There's a lot of trash bills.
she owed $1,804. This was back on June 21st, the day you filed the eviction. That at the time she owed $1,804. Was any of that the responsibility of HUD to pay? That, or was that all her
No, that would have
responsibility?
been hers.
So that's just hers, okay. And so,
Because they were paying till July.
so June 23rd, she owed $1,804, would accrued in July.
And at that point, she could have moved and still had Section 8, but now Section 8 has canceled.
What is her monthly portion, ma'am?
They pay $827, the rent is $925.
So she pays $120 or $100 about, like
Right,
that?
right.
So how does she owe $1,800?
She hasn't paid since.
She hasn't paid for a couple of years?
Yeah, she hasn't paid, yeah.
Okay. They, her rent is $920
$925.
and they pay $827, so she pays or is supposed to pay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, $98. Okay, well, she's not providing anything, I'm
Can I
sorry.
present all these trash bills and pictures?
No, well, I've already granted you your default judgment in this regard. She wanted to file a motion to set aside or to stop the eviction. I was waiting to try to give her an opportunity to appear. She didn't appear today either, at least not in my courtroom. And then I tried to use what she wrote in a light most favorable to her in her absence. I still don't think that there's anything I can do to grant her any relief without her being here providing any additional information. According to my math, she must not have paid a rent for about 2 years almost consistently. And so even if HUD stopped paying in June or July, whichever story I would believe, whether it's yours versus hers, she still hasn't paid her portion. And then you have the accumulation of the trash damage. I think you may have received some relief on here because I see other money due.
Yeah.
So her motion is denied. You're all set.
Okay, thank you. When will I be granted them?
You've already applied for the rent.
No, I need to now, yeah.
You will get that file downstairs and you should be able to do that. You're welcome. You're Mr. Carter?
Yes.
Okay. Record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Ron Carter. This is 18L2238121. Mr. Carter, this matter was set for or put in bench warrant status actually because you owe $159. You've owed that for some time now. This is a 2018 case.
Yeah, at that present time, they was letting me get time. I injured myself on my job, and I was suing the company. Was they waiting on me to get my settlement, which I'm still going now, but now I'm trying to get a job at the school just so they check the background record. And then I found out I had one out here. I thought my lawyer took
It always happens like that. You thought your lawyer took care of it.
He
You
told
thought
me,
your lawyer was gonna pay this money for you?
oh, not the money part, but the court things come back to court when the COVID-19 was going on. I was getting counseled to come to court, and he was telling me, well, if I don't get a letter from you or hear from him, that he'll be working things out. Found out it wasn't working out. The money part, that's on me. I just didn't have no money to pay it. And it was
Since 2018, you haven't had $200, well, 159. Starts
That's all I
off,
owe?
yeah, you owe $159.
Oh, well, at the time that
You originally owed 125, it looks like.
I was doing a little working on the side, then eventually I couldn't work no more, and I was waiting on my settlement. Now it's taking so long, so I had to do something. The working part anyway.
It's almost 2024. When you gonna pay the money?
Uh,
You paying it today?
don't have any money there, but I mean, that's where that's why I'm filing for the school district. That's where I'm going through all this thing.
I don't know how that's working out with at least warrants. You also failed to appear in file number 19-05193, and that is the city of Lansing versus Ronnie Carter. You had an OWI, which was reduced to impaired driving back in 2020. Then you just never came back.
I came, during them time, I was coming to court here, that I don't know my lawyer at that time. And
It was James Keithley.
Yes,
He left and got another job.
Oh,
He's
wow.
supposed to sit here and wait for you for 3 years?
Well, he's the one who was telling me that he was handling everything when I was getting a letter in the mail, and I was talking to him personally on the phone.
I'm getting you a letter in the mail about what?
I was getting a letter from the court date, and I called him at the time when I was supposed to be in the court. He said, well, I don't believe you guys was having people, seeing people at that time inside the court building. So he was telling me that he would talk personally to whoever had to be talked to, and he would get back to me. He said, if he don't get back to me, that means it would be exposed until he get back. Now, I never got a letter.
I'm gonna give you a little bit of credit because your sentencing date was on April 7th, 2020, and we were not holding court at that
That's what he told
time
me.
for sentencing. However, you did get a notice in the mail to appear on July 7th, 2020, and you never appeared.
I don't really recall getting no letter after I had talked to my lawyer about not courtroom taking a pip. He said he would get back in touch with me with a letter, but I never received anything from him or the
What's your
court.
address?
1927 West Hills, there in that.
Yeah, it didn't come back. It went to that address. Not only that, you knew you never were sentenced. What did you think was gonna happen to the case if you take a plea and you never show up to sentencing? You think it just dissolves?
No, I didn't think it was gonna go away. I just figured that it got the time served or whatever.
Time served. When did you serve time on this?
I did a jail time, but I did like probably altogether probably 20 some days on that. He came and got me out of Mason. I was in Mason at that time doing time.
For what? Not on this.
But when I got arrested for that charge.
When you got arrested for this charge, it was a drunk driving. Let's see here. That was December 27, 2019. You had a pre-trial. I don't show that you were in custody at that time. Why did you have
I was
27?
in time, I did time for that. I was in jail for some days, but I'm gonna say at least 10, 12 days
10 to 12 days you were in jail on this particular case.
on that same case, I believe so.
And so did a judge tell you that you got credit time served?
Well, I was supposed to be going to a place, going to file some place down here, one of these probation places. And I filed for that, then
You filed for what?
I spoke and went downstairs to a probation lady to talk to her.
That was would have been, so I handled this sentence or this plea. Yeah, you were supposed to handle the sentence. You never came back. You would have received a referral that looks just like this. You were supposed to go downstairs to meet with the probation department. Did you ever do that?
Yes, I talked to some lady, what's her name? Some lady with curly hair. And I said, my name should be on there. I reported to
Okay,
them
and
personally.
you completed a substance abuse assessment?
It was probably, reason I didn't complete that because I didn't have no money issue problem.
Oh,
I
so
had to
you would
pay.
have gotten remanded when you came to court anyways then?
Uh,
You would have got remanded when you came to court anyways because you didn't follow my order before sentencing. You did not go and get the pre-sentence report completed like you were supposed to.
I did go down into, I went down into the place.
I am not disputing you to go down there, because if you were in person, and you would have been in person back on February 25th, because we weren't doing Zoom court, and I took your plea, but when you left here, you were gonna go right downstairs, and your attorney or my court staff would have escorted you right down there, so you would have met with them that day, but you would have been given a date to return for your interview, and you would have had to do a substance abuse assessment if you had not already done one, which I don't know how you got this offer from the city without doing one, but that's none of my business. And you're not gonna talk over me when I'm talking.
Sorry.
And then you would have had to have that pre-sentence report and recommendation completed so that I can get that at the time of your sentencing. So this file doesn't have a probation file attached to it, which would indicate to me there was no report generated. I can check though. I don't
I
believe
would
you
like for
could.
you to check, because I
Okay,
was down
can
there.
we call probation and find out if we ever got a precinct report from him?
It's in JS that he failed to appear for his assessment in
But he said he
March
did appear.
2020.
He failed to appear for your assessment.
I know, well, I can't.
Mr. Keithley didn't tell you he was gonna handle that for you.
I don't, when I went down there, I thought when I was going down there, I did fill out some paper and fill out a couple forms, and
What are you applying to do at the school district?
I'm gonna be, custodian.
Okay, and so you're gonna be responsible enough to take care of that, or you can't take care of this?
I mean, reason why I would have to take care of that, I didn't have no money, I was broke, I can't help because I was broke.
Well, you just told me you thought you took care of it, and
I was, when this case was going on, when I couldn't come to court, they said they wasn't seeing, my lawyer said he wasn't seeing anyone. He said he would handle everything, that he would get back to me, so I said, well, I don't do nothing, to you. He said, don't do nothing. He didn't tell me don't do nothing till I get back, he just said, I'll get back to you, let you know what goes on for that. I haven't never heard from him since then, I just figured he took care of it, and I just.
what's that got to do with you getting a pre-sentence report done? And a assessment,
just be
because
honest.
you could, they would assess you downstairs and they would tack the fee on, and I would assess it at the time of sentencing. You wouldn't even had to pay had you showed up and let them do the assessment. You didn't show up.
I guess I was confused. I thought I was doing everything that's supposed to be done. I went down there.
You didn't do anything. You didn't show up to do the assessment or the pre-sentence interview. You didn't show up to court, and you didn't pay your court fine on a 2018 case. You've not done anything. How can you possibly think you've been doing anything you should be doing?
The only reason why I'm speaking on that part, but when I spoke and returned to the court that day, and the lawyer told me the court wasn't taking anyone, I was just assuming everything was closed, so if I didn't get no letter from the place, that was my stupid thinking.
We did send you a letter. It
Well,
never
I
came
didn't
back,
receive it.
so we're inclined to believe it went to the right address.
Probably I just didn't receive that, man. I don't know what else to say. I thought I was doing everything right. That's why I'm here today. Find out that everything wasn't cleared up, so.
Yeah, I don't think that you thought everything was clear. I think you just was gonna carry on until you couldn't get this job because of it. Because you saw Judge Clark in 2018 on the traffic matter. He gave you a fine of $125. In 2019, January, you had a show cause. You said you was gonna pay, they tacked on a late fee, and it was $205. It was referred to collections December 2019. You claim you paid it and you had a receipt, and you will bring it to collections so that we could see it. We ain't seen you since then.
No, I thought I was doing everything right, so, I mean. you
Okay.
got to do check.
How much you paying on this today?
I don't have it there, but I can call around the house, call some of my family members, see if I come up with some kind of money for the day.
Okay, I'll let you do that.
Okay.
You can step out to make your phone call.
Okay.